Hey, what's up? This is the Tuesday show on Ultra 10 TV.
We're
I'm
back.
David.
A dinosaur story.
I'm Tasty Steve.
And I'm James Chan. How's everybody going?
Now's your turn.
Yeah, come on, man.
Man, you're trying to talk out of turn over there?
Yeah,
What's
you
up?
hear him?
Oh my god.
What was that about?
What was that about?
You're like in the middle. You're like, "Hello, everybody, and welcome." And he's like, "Yeah, I just got a whole bunch of,
Congrats to
Zibbity-doo,
you.
zibbity-boobity-doo.
You got the cool person jacket on and all
I
of a sudden
told him,
you're
man.
Yeah."
Guys being a jerk. Whoa, you riled him up. Old man taking off jacket, everybody run. No, I'm
Hey,
just
David,
kidding.
that's a really cool Killer Instinct World Cup 2017 jacket you got there.
Thanks, buddy.
I got one just like it. It's real cozy, right?
It's kind of gross. I think it's kind of gross. It's like full gore on it, you know.
Oh boy, I'd hate for somebody to kill Gore anyway. Alright, let's talk about stuff. So we're going to talk about Final Round, we're going to talk about KI World Cup, we're going to talk about, as you can see, South by Southwest, which is just last weekend in TSP. We'll talk about the SF5 patch, Shin Hisako out in KI,
Lots of
Yamazaki
other stuff. Yeah,
happens.
there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff.
Some
to
other
talk.
things.
That
Got a
is
picture of a
savage.
Reuben up on James's TV screen.
Oh, that was a
Picture of
pizza
the Reuben?
inside of a...
That was a pizza in a Reuben?
In whatever that was, man.
Oh,
They
you're
look
talking
gross.
about the... You're talking
that Eris
Eris's
sandwich.
pizza
He
thing?
said I made me a pizza sandwich tonight, and I'm just like, that's way too much. No, that takes
That looked
too
like
much
rye bread,
preparation.
and if so, as a Jew, I'm offended.
That's fair.
Anyway,
It's
you
your
want to start off?
jurisdiction.
That's right. You want to start off with Final Round then?
Sure.
So it's been a couple of weeks since we've done this, and as a result, we haven't had a chance to talk about Final Round yet, but or KI Cup because it's the same weekend. But yeah, let's start off with FR.
All right. So, do you want me to put the results on screen, or do you want to just talk about it and just like give our thoughts about the first sequence?
Yeah, I mean, before we go into the results, let's just prattle on about it in general.
Sure,
Yeah.
no problem.
What were your impressions of FR? We were all there.
I thought it was really fun. I've never been there,
See,
so I should say that. I should start with that. This is my first time ever going to Final Round, actually. So I had heard all the horror stories,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, all right, well, we'll see how this goes. It's a little warm, right?
Yeah. it is.
Yeah, I was like, all right, well, we'll see how this whole thing goes. But I thought that the space was really good, and I thought that the tournament was a lot of fun. I think that the difference between this year and last year, from a spectator's point of view, was that last year there were so many players, but this year, because there was less players, and the pools were so stacked. Like, every pool felt like it was just full of killers, and the matches were, like, super fantastic. So, yeah, I don't know. I thought everything that I watched for every game was really good. So I was really happy with the whole event. And I had never been to Atlanta. Atlanta was
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, it was
Did
very
you get to see
different
Atlanta
too.
at all?
Not really, because we kind of jetted out of there
Yeah,
pretty quick.
that's right, yeah.
Because one of the things that's probably important to know about the way that it was this year is that the fact that it literally has never been in a convention center like that. It was always in a hotel, and
Yep.
like it was always crowded. So I mean, there was definitely some issues. Some people were mentioning that it was bad that they, like Larry apologized about it. That like what was it, MK and Guilty Gear didn't get like top 8
On
stream
mainstream,
time or something
yeah.
like that, mainstream. So
They're on their own streams.
Yeah.
And MK was really
I like
good.
that haircut actually.
Oh,
looks,
Thank you.
Looks very fly.
It's a little longer on the sides than I usually cut it, and I think I want to start doing it even longer than that. But, it's an ongoing experiment. MK was actually really good because Dragon beat Sonic Fox.
Yeah.
Like the first time in a real tournament, because like the week before he beat him online, and he kind of was like, I beat him, but it's like, it's an online tournament, I'm not going to count it. And he beat him, that's what like Dragon said it himself, he's like, I'm not going to count it, right? So he beat him in person, and he popped off after, and we know how graceful Dragon is, man. He's really,
I like that word choice.
yeah,
Graceful.
he is for sure, but it was really sick, and then he ended up winning the tournament, so
Nice.
Echo Fox, Scar, and Sonic Fox got second
and third, yeah.
Cool.
It was pretty sick. Yeah, MK was really good.
I actually asked him, like, I saw Sonic Fox. I was like, oh, you won, right? He was like, no. I was like, who did this to you? You know?
How did you let this happen? He won for honor, though, right?
Yeah.
Which
Which was crazy.
Yeah.
So-
He's obviously been practicing other games too much,
You know,
I
it's
feel like that guy could play For Honor for like a couple of days, and he'd probably be like,
Right,
bust, so.
exactly.
Whatever.
All
I
right,
saw him
Steve.
raging about revenge
It's
mode
very
on
loud.
Twitter.
It's very
Mm.
loud.
He was playing in
I'm
some
sorry.
online tournament that allowed revenge mode, and he was like, "Why?"
It's not that great of a game.
No,
turns
yeah,
out.
revenge mode is the worst.
They really need to make some significant
Really,
changes to that game.
because I remember last time you guys talked about it. There were some people on the YouTube channels like, these guys have no idea what
Like,
they're
imagine,
talking
so revenge mode is like after you get beat up, you get like a factor. It's like think about X Factor, but if when you pop the X Factor, your opponent gets knocked down, and you just get to hit them for free. So it's like you just hit him, and it does like 50% of his life.
Oh man.
and then like the follow-up attack killed him.
It is not that great, unfortunately.
All right, so let's
Anyway,
go over
it
Street
was-
Fighter 5 here, top 8.
It's
You
a
can
very
see on the
different event than
screen.
usual.
I mean, I'll go through top 16 here just because there were so many ridiculous
Well,
players.
we're gonna have to
here.
keep the results to a pretty minimal.
Yeah.
Because we had a lot to talk about
A lot to
today.
talk
So
about.
it's like it was basically. Why does it say Goichi versus Verloren? It's Goichi, Problem X, John B, Wolfkrone in 13th place, Sabin, Chris G, Phenom, Haitani in 9th place.
Losers.
Then Verloren and Itabashi in 7th. 5th place was 801 Strider, Tokido. 4th place K-Brad. 3rd place Knuckle Dew. 2nd place Fudo. 1st place Sien.
So before the thing happened, we did a little pre-show.
Yeah, we
Oh.
predicted,
We-
we predicted winners and stuff.
We did. We predicted our winners. Was anybody right here?
No.
No.
We had 3
Because-
Knuckle Dews and a Punk.
Yeah, 3 Knuckle Dews and a Punk, and then
I
also
picked
you picked Momochi. No, you
Mago.
picked Mago.
Mago.
You picked
Mago.
Mago.
Mago, and he got dusted.
Dumped.
Looks like
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Not
not even
on the
He
thing,
can't
man.
see He didn't make the event helps cut. That's like, you know,
I just-
and that's like a top 32 cut. So
I
you
just
know.
want to say that I did have I cheated. I had a sub pick.
You did.
Pulled
And
the
then-
Tasty Steve,
and
yeah.
I pulled a Tasty Steve, and I had Verloren in there. And
Oh, you
he
pulled the being
made
right?
top
Yeah,
eight.
Well, I also
Well,
mentioned Itazan.
Yeah, you did
Yeah.
too, as well.
And I
And
picked
he's-
Knuckle Dew, who made it higher than Valoran and
Yeah.
Itabashi. But, you know, Itabashi losing to Tokido was crazy.
That was
That match was really good.
nuts.
Tokido played so well.
I looked at all the Japanese players. They were like, "Wow!" Like even they were surprised. I was like,
it's garbage. man.
Yeah,
So,
actually,
good
I
work.
mean, I'm curious what everyone thought of that pre-show. We did that pre-show. I know that's
Oh,
something
yeah.
that we've been trying to do a lot of, and I
Right.
see some people in the chat saying that they really enjoyed that
It was a
pre-show.
lot of fun
Alright.
to do. There was a lot of great feedback. I feel like a lot of people were like tweeting me about it. Logan said that we were all crazy because it was impossible
To
that
predict.
any American will make top 4 at such a stacked event with so many
Yeah,
Japanese killers that it's
that's what he said.
impossible.
Top 4.
No American can make top 4, let alone 2. That's crazy talk.
2 just were in grand finals of the Capcom Cup. I don't know
I
why
know,
you would
right?
even talk about that.
It's a
anymore.
good thing that Europe just dominated the tournament and the U.S. didn't make top 4 twice.
Yeah.
You better check out that lake for your opinions, buddy.
I
And,
mean,
there's-
3 in top 8 and
3 in
no
top 8.
Europeans anywhere.
And not
There
just 3,
was
but
only-
3 in top 5.
Yeah, there was only 2 Europeans there, just to be fair.
but that tournament was ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
competition was very good.
Extremely
it was kind of crazy.
Let me ask you guys this then, just based on the results, right? What do you feel? Was there any message or was there any sort of thing that you saw at our first CPT event that made you kind of go, I'm thinking about the season 2 a little differently, or?
I don't know if there's anything for me about characters, but I thought that Sien was like a top 5 player last season, just in terms of understanding and how well he was playing the game.
Yep.
When you watched him, he clearly knew some of the most about out of anybody in the entire game, but his character was whack.
Yeah.
And then you watch him play now with a character who I don't even think she's top 5. I think she's
either,
like
yeah.
top
10.
She's
Top
like
10.
top 7 or 8.
Like, she's clearly
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, she's like for sure like
She's definitely a good character.
right, but not like a super top tier character, and he just wins the tournament in winners, like no problem, because he is just that talented, and he was being held back by.
I mean,
his
everybody
character.
knew it at the time, you know?
Pick a top tier,
And it's
Or don't pick, like, the bottom
worst
3
tier,
to 5
yeah.
characters in the game.
Yeah.
a marginally better character.
It's frustrating because we always say this, me and David, like when we do commentary or when we did like World Warriors of Capcom Cup stuff, like Sien, he won Evo and he still doesn't feel like he gets the credit that a lot of the other players
You're
who
right.
won Evo got. And this is just proof right here that he is just ridiculous. So.
And then he won some shindig the next weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a tournament
yeah.
where he played Pumko in the finals.
Yeah.
who was
Yeah.
using Colleen.
Yeah, that's right.
It was a really good set.
So he's very strong.
I need to
He's
see that.
It's really good.
So anyway.
Fudo, second place. Mika, still strong.
Dude,
Super consistent.
Yeah, Mika, like to me,
So
I
your
still think
character.
she's top 10.
Really?
I still
Very
think
good.
she's top 10 right now.
And then Do, I still think one of the most consistent players.
Yeah.
For
Free.
sure.
Like,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
he got 3rd here, and then he got 2nd at South by Southwest
And
the week
it's
after.
interesting because one of the things that I want to mention, you know, outside of Fudo here, but like between 2 events, like is Street Fighter 5 not Japan's game?
I've been telling you.
Yeah, he's been saying this for quite some time.
Right.
Fans getting dunked, dude. They were losing. It was like, you know, I don't know.
I mean, the Japanese players did pretty well.
They did all right. They did all right.
I like that
Hey,
pretty
all right.
well.
It's
What-
just. It's
what
the-
about
Oh, Crack Braun, stop it! I'm
What?
tired of. He's like,
Oh, I
Mika,
already know
yeah,
what he mentioned
look, no,
before.
Knuckle Dew, Fudo, Luffy,
Clearly he's
all
not
doing
ass.
purely great.
All right, look, if you want to.
Totally great with Mika.
Yo, Fudo is a ridiculous player.
Yeah, he is
like
super-
he's
That's
just a
definitely
godlike
true.
player.
But look,
Luffy and Knuckle do
Crocodile-
Crocodile, he said the
Sien
same
won
thing in
this?
season 1 though. To be fair, because like, come on.
That is true. Sien won this event by playing a character that wasn't ass, right? He's that kind of player. He was playing an actual ass character.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
But you
That
know,
is
you know who for a
actually
second,
bad.
you know who for not 1 second
That's
thought
a
that
bad character,
anybody
not Mika.
besides Shin was gonna win that tournament? Z.
Yeah.
I was
I mean,
sitting next
that's
to him the
Husbando
entire
right
Because
there.
weekend.
he,
I know.
Yeah,
he's
come on.
biased,
That's Husbando
right?
I know.
No, I mean,
Like Z is the wife.
but
he's
no,
there
he,
with the pom
but
poms.
he thinks he has a logic about it. Because I remember we were at Capcom Cup and he was just like, "Oh, I think Tokido's gonna win," and I was like, "Really?" And he was like, "Yeah,"
Dude.
and he cited his reasons.
Okay.
But when I saw him at final round, he was like, "Oh, Z's good. Shin's gonna win this free." I'm like, "Wait, what? For real?" He was like, "Yeah."
Well, Tokyo got bodied at Capcom Cup.
Yeah, he
so
sure
did
did.
it.
It's true. I'm just saying
Predictions
him
these
saying he
things
recalled
happen.
it. He meant what he said. That's all I'm
Alright,
saying.
Yep,
he believes in
alright.
himself.
All right.
Like
all right.
someone actually made the joke, like, what if like U.S. became the best at Street Fighter V, but then Japan became the best at MVCI?
Oh wow.
What
I
a
feel like- I
backwards
feel like-
world we would live
I
in.
feel like
I feel like
things
that's
would
not
happen
that
in the
unlikely,
world.
actually.
Wait,
Man, that'd be
everyone's saying the
crazy.
stream
That'd be
is
pretty
running
crazy.
bad right now. Okay, so I do apologize ahead of time. I am streaming on Wi-Fi right now. I cannot do
dang.
wired right now because
Oh.
my wired connection is not working. I do not
Dang.
understand why. So I do apologize if the stream is really stuttering like this.
Way
So.
to trade in
consistent.
that good internet for that good jacket. Is that where that came from?
Yeah, I know. He
guess,
spent all his money on the jacket
money
and
came
can't
on the
afford
jacket.
the internet bill.
Gotta pull the taste of
Can you?
Steve.
I was just gonna do it. Just gonna do
I know. I was thinking the same thing.
Actually-
Actually, to be fair, I did not purchase this jacket.
Oh.
Oh, that's what they
a
all
hot lady
say.
bought you this jacket.
From Secret
Is
Admirer?
that what you're telling me right now?
That's what I'm telling you, Mr. Tasty Steve. That's what I'm
Uh-huh.
telling you, Mr. Tasty Steve. I did not buy it. Do you think I have the fashion sense enough to buy this jacket?
I didn't want to say it out loud, but if you
You're
put it
bringing
on
up
the
a good
table,
point.
Do I actually have the fashion sense to buy a jacket that looks good on me?
James, no, you do
trust
not.
me.
That's why I
Trust
just said
me.
it had to be somebody who cared for you deeply to make sure.
So is the video as bad? Is the audio bad too, or is it just the video right now, guys?
I think he stole it. James walked
Yeah, I
into
know,
a store and
right?
just stole it. That sounds just like James.
Yeah, pretty much.
I believe that.
Least likely thing.
Do people know? So like I said, for some reason, all of my Wi-Fi works, but my wired does not work. So, and it's also not any of the cables. It's not the PC because when I plug the wired into the PS4, it's not working either. So
Dang,
there's
were
something
you a
about the-
Wi-Fi monster yesterday when you were streaming?
Yeah, I had to.
You son
I
of
had
a
to.
gun.
I had to. I was saying
I
that the
thought
whole
you-
time.
You know, I thought I knew a man, and then. All
You
right.
go over the
Dude,
house
you-
and
Good to know.
hey, there's no wires here. What's this about?
Every time we ran into a laggy match, I was like, dude, this is totally my fault. This is totally my
What a
fault.
butt.
So, yeah.
Dang. Now
All right.
y'all know who to trust.
Well, apparently the video is not doing the best, but at least
All
the
right.
audio is
I
working, so
apologize
there
to
you go.
people again. Yeah, this is going to be a problem. So I just hope that when I edit this video, that this is not going to destroy me, because it has the potential to destroy me. Because when video stutters, like those frames get lost, and
Yeah,
so the
they do.
audio and the video gets desynced, and it
put up
takes
a
me
big-
17 hours to edit it.
Just
Well-
put like a big splash and just play it. It's audio only. It's a radio
yeah,
show.
I know, right?
Just
Yeah.
make it a radio show.
Just put that
Just the
jacket
talking
up there.
heads.
So
Yeah, right, that's
obviously
fine.
we
Anyway,
can't.
Gustavo, congrats.
Yeah, we also
Yeah.
can't finish talking about this without talking about Wolf Krone and K Brad.
That was very well done.
Those kids.
To me, the stars aligned for that match because Steve and Yipes were on commentary
yeah.
for that match.
That was a good one.
That could not have
was a
been
good
better.
timing.
That
Yeah.
could not have been better.
And that pairing is buff.
And Chris
Yeah.
Steven
Seglia,
Yipes is buff.
Chris Seglia
Good
was like,
timing.
I talked to him at South by Southwest, and he was like, he basically wanted to act like he planned that to get those two on there,
Come on.
but he did.
That guy
totally
has
did.
no idea who's in any bracket
Yeah, I know,
for sure.
right?
Yeah, he doesn't know what's going on.
He
He's
has
like, I
no
don't know, just
idea.
put him on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he gets the pairings, but
Yeah,
he definitely doesn't know what the pools are. For sure.
yeah.
All right.
Mortal
Anyway,
Kombat, as we mentioned,
Was really good.
Dragon took first place, you see, over Scar, and Sonic Fox got third place. So that means Scar beat Sonic Fox in losers finals, then, right?
Yeah,
I
that
think
was
so.
the finals.
Yeah, that's probably the best three. I mean, it's been in the top three for a while.
Or was it like, yeah, Scar did beat him in
Top
the
three
finals, that's right,
players.
yeah. Because I remember
Oh,
seeing
that's
that
a
match.
good
Dang, Kenshi got top 5. I thought he was garbage.
Tweety, right? It was Tweety?
It's TD, yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't
TD.
actually get to watch it.
Kenji's not...
He's definitely not garbage. He's not the best. But
Not
he's
the best, yeah, that's a good way to put it. What other games happened over there?
Tekken 7, Fated Retribution.
Which
I,
This
I-
was a good one here.
Yeah,
this
Tekken
was
7 was sick.
ridiculous.
I watched a bit of this.
Wow, man. Tekken 7. So first off, we did like the Wizard World where they brought back Tekken again, but this was the first like Tekken 7 event where it was completely updated, and it was even more so. It was the console version of the game.
This had Miguel in it, right?
Yeah, it
So
had
it's, like, the
Miguel
most current
and it
version.
had Lee in it. So it had everybody that was up to date except for like, Panda and Eddie and the new characters.
Right.
But when I tell you, like, a lot of people's foots were in their mouths because, like, Saint, the world champ and the Evo champ didn't even make top 8.
Yeah. Who
Guy-
did he lose to? From what countries were those
A
players?
guy named Joey Fury from
Yeah.
Who is
upstate.
he? Who is
Upstate
he?
New York.
Uh-huh.
ITS.
Is he known?
Joey
Was he
Fury.
known
Man,
before?
I've been watching him. Like, he was playing tag 2.
Got
Defense.
third place at the tournament.
Jesus, man. This dude, his defense is really good. He's been playing for a while. I keep overlapping myself. I
Literally.
apologize. So, he's been playing for a while. He did really well in Tag 2. And this is one of the first times we've seen him play at a major since maybe North American Lance Chess Quals, which is last year. But he didn't travel as much to the other tournaments. But this is the first year Tekken 7 was the main game. So now we have all these ITS players there. We had a bunch of international competition as well as Cyclops Osaka's Takuya, I can't remember her name, but she's one of the best lane players in the world.
It's like Tanakana or something like that.
Tanakana.
Something like that, yeah.
And the fact that we had so much international competition, and she actually popped off on Wade Gamble.
Yeah,
I
Wade
saw
Gamble.
that,
I saw
Oh
that.
my
That was
god!
funny.
Double
The
pop.
reserve pop off, she stored the pop off
Yeah.
like Ocho throw. She was
Yeah.
like, yeah, handshake, and he went for it. She was like, yeah. I was like, oh damn, that was good.
sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of people said that Tekken 7 is one of those games where it's not fair because Americans don't have access to the game. And
Well-
top 8
Look at that.
world champ knocked out, and I'm talking about the matches. If you
Dude,
get
so
the chance, go watch those matches. It was
But
ridiculous.
Joey beat both Saint and JDCR,
Yeah.
right? He sent them both to losers,
Yep, he sent
right?
both of them to losers.
Well,
It's pretty wild.
JDCR did end up winning.
Oh, JDCR
yeah,
came
yeah.
back
Oh,
with a
oh,
vengeance.
yeah.
It was like he put on the
Kicks.
silver pimp
Dude,
hand
you know
glove
what?
and just.
But you know
Oh,
what the
it was
worst
bad.
part about it was? You know what the worst part about it was? Like, we're sitting here in America. We're sitting here in the United
We're sitting in
States.
America.
We're like rooting for all of the American players, and I was sitting next to Cool Gray AJ.
The
That-
manager
was
the
sitting
return.
there, and
the
he was sitting
return.
there.
That was godlike.
He was rooting for JDCR, and I was like,
What a
"You
butt.
traitor! You
his
traitor
player,
to
you know?
our beautiful
Nah,
home
man.
country here." Yeah.
Freedom, man.
He came out of nowhere to support the losing side, man. You barely made it.
Man.
Yeah.
All right. Marvel. Looks like
Marvel.
Ryan LV won this thing.
Yeah, interesting
again.
one again. Ryan
Chris G in
LV
finals.
taking out Chris G and F
Wow.
I
Champ.
heard
But-
Chris
but
G
I
went
will
on
say-
a rant about how cheap Ryan LV's team was.
Oh yeah. Oh, you guys didn't see that? He was going
That was
in,
so
man.
funny, yeah.
He's like, I could make it so you couldn't touch me the entire time.
He should
And
do
you
that,
could-
then.
Yeah, I mean, I would.
In fact, that's why he started playing the Morgan Virtual Doom.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
That's like literally why.
So,
That's why Guile works for him too. It's the same
but
idea.
I will say,
Yeah,
Chris
exactly.
G did reset.
Yes,
and
he did.
a lot of people didn't expect that. And I told people, I was like, oh, he's definitely going to reset. And then afterwards, he got beat up after that. But, I mean, it shows that he's learning.
Man.
But I heard
Chun-Li,
it was- I heard
so
it was good
cheap.
stuff.
The cheapest.
Yeah.
The rest of the team's pretty cheap.
I mean, the way that it works together is really smart and cheap for sure.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I didn't actually get to see any of these Marvel matches yet, but I heard they were really
They were
super good.
crazy.
Dang, I heard Justice got ninth. This game ended up in such a weird and cool place.
That's what I keep
I
telling
heard
people.
Justin-
If
Yeah,
they
I
let the
know,
game
I-
breathe, man.
Dude, the game is so good right now. It's so fun. Guilty Gear Revelator, Dogura, who got... Oh, no, that was Blaze Blue, but
He got
Dogura got
bodied.
first place.
Blaze Blue.
Second place was Kazunoko. Third place, Doran 2K. Fourth place, Goichi. So, Japan's still dominating this
Yeah,
game here.
it's
obviously.
really hard though. Like Dogura and Kazunoko.
Yeah, they had to duck us in Street Fighter, so they went to another game where they have a chance.
pretty
Makes
much,
sense.
Pretty much. So...
I wonder how many people actually believe that kind of stuff. They're like, man, CJM thinks Japan is so bad at Street Fighter.
Dead or
So-
Alive last round. First place went to Kalaya DeLorean, and second place was Excalibur
Oh.
Blades, and third place Mr. Quiggle.
Wow, Excalibur
Quiggle.
Blades and Quiggle didn't get first place.
Yeah, interesting.
Neither. Or Sonic Fox? Dang.
Yeah.
Well,
Blade Blue
RIPB.
Central Fiction. So yeah, Dogura got beat early on.
First round.
You saw the
Or
delayed
whatever.
pop off from that one
Classic.
guy, dude. Yeah,
Classic.
that guy was like, "Did I? I'm not doing a Woshige. Like, did I win? Did I win?" They're like, "Yes,
He
you
thought
won."
he did not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then they said he won, and then he got up and cheered.
That
but
was
then,
that was real life right there. I liked
Amazing,
it.
yeah.
But then Dogura was like, I just wanted to make this a challenge
Yeah.
for myself. Because he came
back
back
and
all the
lose
way and he won, right? SKD, of course, second place though with Izuyoi, and third place was Tactile East Side. King of Fighters 14. Romance made it all the way out there. He
Sick.
took first place over Goichi.
Yeah, he had to reset.
He just got a sponsor. My bad. He just got sponsored by In the Sky as well.
Yeah,
Really?
So congratulations to Romance.
Nice.
They picked up a lot of Tekken players, and this is their first KOF player. And Romance won the tournament, so that's a good look. My bad. I didn't mean to
Sweet.
interrupt you,
No, yeah, that was exactly what I was gonna bring up.
Good stuff to Reno.
All right.
I'm sorry, to Romance.
Good old Romance.
Yeah.
Same thing, right? You know,
Yeah.
Brooklyn R, it's
U.S.
KOF.
KOF players, whatever. It's all the same.
James.
All right.
There you go.
FR.
That was
Yeah,
Final Round.
it felt
Whoops.
super different to me, to be honest. Like I was only there for but a day, and then I skipped town to KI Cup.
Yeah.
But it didn't at all feel like Final Round to me.
No.
Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, because some of the things that were not great about Final Round were that it was very cramped and that it didn't run well. And it was not at all cramped, and it ran much better.
Yeah.
So that's cool. It just was like, I don't know, and it wasn't empty.
Whoa.
It felt
like
kind of cavernous,
cavernous.
right?
There-
Yeah.
The walls were so tall, and there was like nothing on them.
It was kind of a
Cavernous is
Yeah,
exactly how
like
I
canyon-y.
described it. Yeah, it felt like we were in a
Canyon-y.
big,
Yeah.
echoey cave.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was a lot of space.
It actually
it was,
felt like
it was
a-
a very different feeling. I
It
thought
was organized like a mini Evo too, because the main stage was on the side
Yeah.
like that. So.
Yeah, it was very different.
but they did have Chick-fil-A in the venue, and I don't know if anybody else took advantage
Wait,
of
they
that.
had a Chick-fil-A in the
In the
venue?
venue,
In the
yeah, there was.
venue. I was
not
not
the day
there.
you were there. It was the next day.
How did I miss that?
I don't know, but I didn't.
Dude, I was
took
sitting
full,
there-
I took full advantage.
Yeah,
of it.
we
I
were
ate
sitting
sandwiches
there-
for everybody.
Dude, exactly. Because we were sitting there on commentary, me and Yipes, and then Chris Segley was like, "I'm gonna get Chick-fil-A. You guys want something?" And Yipes and I were like,
Wait, so what? So,
and I in like a 2-minute break, I was like,
our man on the stream was saying that Chris G said this is the worst year for UMVC3. Oh, because he doesn't like the PS4 panel.
"Oh yeah,
He doesn't
yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah."
PS4
well,
version.
that's understandable.
Yeah, because there was like one extra
There's
frame of
extra
delay
input
on
lag.
there, but then he was also saying there's some other problems.
Yeah,
that are
apparently
making
you
it-
can't retaliate X Factor.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
like if
it's like
somebody
you have
X
to do it a
Factor,
little bit
you have to
later.
wait before
Yeah,
you
the
even do
timing
it.
is weird.
The timing is a little weird,
Yeah,
so
that
he's
is a bummer.
frustrated by that. But
I get that.
yeah,
Other than that, I think it's great, but yeah, that definitely sucks.
okay.
All right.
All right, so
KI
that was
Cup
Final
also
Round.
happened.
Yeah, let's talk about KI World Cup, which you two decided to go to.
We sure did.
You guys did the
We made a
double
good
duty
choice.
in one weekend.
It was so tough.
It was so
No, it was
tough.
really
Oh
easy.
yeah, it was
Like,
actually
totally
pretty easy,
no big
right?
deal.
Yeah, like the flight is pretty short.
Yeah, a
So
couple
it's like-
hours, and FR was right next to the airport,
Right.
and
Did you take the train
it
back
was easy.
from the venue at Final Round? You could take the Sky Train back to the airport.
Is it a train? It's just like a
Tram or
it's
I don't
like
even know
the
what it is.
airport tram.
Yeah.
It's like
That was so
specifically
convenient.
before the airport. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was awesome.
Yeah.
It took me like 3 minutes.
Yeah, me too. It was very easy. KI Cup was very cool. Before getting into the results, it was just a really interesting venue.
The venue was
very
nice.
pretty.
It was super,
this
super
very
good.
cool concert hall that they day one was flat bottomed so that they had all the tournament stations in there and could fit. They fit a couple hundred people in there. And then day two, it was all stadium seating, and the transition is automatic. There's some button you press. and the whole thing
What?
does
That's
it.
sick. Did
Yeah,
y'all
Yeah,
see
like
it?
like I think Rick
I saw a
posted
video
a
of it.
video of it where you see the floors like they like the chair rows would lift up, like the wood panels would lift up. the
Damn,
chairs
that's
would
sick. Like the
flip
Blackbird
up.
and X-Men. I want to see
Yeah,
that.
it's exactly like
the
that.
chairs would flip up and then the floor would plant back down again. So
Yeah,
now then
yeah.
there was all of a sudden all these chairs.
And like it had fantastic acoustics, obviously.
Yeah,
But
it's-
it was also just really. It was pretty. It was.
I
it
heard
was
the production
cool.
value
The
was
production
super
was
good.
It was
nice.
great.
Yeah.
It was the
It was
Tenno
really well
guys
done.
were involved with it, so they were streaming the CPT stream at Final Round as well as KI Cup the same weekend. So they did both. It looked really awesome, and it's according to Brandon, it's like the third best acoustic concert hall or whatever in like the US or something like that, or in the world. I don't know. It's like super highly rated.
It was
And
really
with
nice.
KI music in there, oh man, it's
Yeah, that was
so
really,
good.
that was really cool. Yeah, yeah.
The top 32, the finals day had 21 or 22 characters out of the 27 in the game.
Yeah.
And the characters that weren't represented, it's not like they were like weak characters. It was just like they were top tier characters that just nobody happened to play.
Right.
In the top, like Rash wasn't there. And it was like
That was
that
a
character is
surprise.
really good. Yeah, there's 2 at Evo top 8 of Rash, but not in that. So there was tons of character variety. The match was really good. There was an Aganos in top 8, which was really sick.
Aganos, Rom.
Latalis Venator, right?
Yeah.
He played that.
Mhm.
And
The
then Rico
human hunter.
Suave getting 7th place as well after not get
He just didn't show up in time.
He got DQ'd in the losers bracket, man.
Oh, that
Yeah, he didn't show up in time.
Yeah,
He was
well,
like,
I mean, he was partying, I guess, or something.
no, he just didn't make it back to his room. He got lost on the way back to his room or something. And then
Got
daylight
lost.
saving
His
times.
phone
Got
died.
lost, you know.
His pool was on fire.
It was in Austin, right? It was
He had to
in-
take his
no,
cat
it
for a
was in
walk.
San-
I don't know what
somewhere
happened,
else,
but
yeah.
It was
daylight
in
saving
San
times
Antonio.
kicked in to skip an hour ahead or whatever too.
Yeah.
So it was a little confusing.
So anyway, it sucks for him, but
Yeah.
that's on him.
Fifth place
and
was-
he battled pretty well back.
Yeah, fifth place was Water Horses and Wheels. Water Horses was one of the guys who qualified in the Last Chance tournaments the previous
Last year, yeah.
right?
He made top 8 last year too.
Yeah. And then Circa Nikki in fourth place. Third place, BH Thompson. Was it the winners finals match or the losers finals match that was like like one of those matches
Thuggery?
with Thompson was like the sickest match?
Him and
ever.
Sleep was winners finals,
Okay,
and it
okay.
was 3-2 and tons of teabagging, and it was great.
There was a
Oh,
lot of
man.
IRL jerkery too.
Yeah, it was.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Like
I
Sleep-
mean, like they're cool with each other.
Yeah.
But it was like.
Like Sleep
Cool
was up like
exhibition.
2-0, and then he was just like, "This is like you're done." And then
he
like
actually got up.
Thompson made some crazy comeback in the next game. And was like, "What's good?" And then like it happened again, and I was like, "Oh my god!" It went to like last game.
It was a very good
crazy.
set.
And that match was pretty good for like Arya beats Jacob. I think pretty soundly. So
Right.
it was good. It was an interesting set.
Storm 179 with Hisako in
Really the
second
hero.
place. Yeah.
He was the hero of the event for
Hisako.
sure.
And then
Yeah.
Sleep
Yeah.
doing the pulling double duty, just like Saint did earlier.
Exactly.
Winning Evo and then winning their national tournament.
Same thing that happened last
Or
year
their
where
global tournament. I
Yeah,
should say.
Rico won Evo and then won KI Cup
Right.
back to back. So he won the like Evo and then the World Finals basically, and then Sleep did the same thing, Evo and then World Finals
Oh,
back
wow.
to back. So same thing that happened in Tekken actually.
Oh, that sounds
But-
like it's a curse starting, man.
Like Nobi won Evo and then Finals, and then Saint won Evo and then Finals. Dang, now Sleep's gonna get bodied by.
Yeah, now Sleep's gonna get bodied
Bodied like
because
Saint did?
Saint got bodied. Oh,
Oh,
wow,
man.
it's starting.
Here's the question though. So at this event you mentioned 22 of the 27 characters were represented in top 32,
Yeah.
right? So balance wise, the game is in a fantastic place.
Yeah, balance is great.
And I know that there's a new patch coming out, right? 3.7 patch is coming
3.7
out.
is coming out.
Is it changing a lot of things significantly?
There
or-
are certainly
Some things.
So yeah, I think the tier list will not change significantly, but I think that the balance will just get squeezed in a little bit more.
Yeah.
even more.
Yeah, that's basically the
That's
way it is.
good. That's
like the
great.
very best characters are getting small nerfs, and some of the other characters are getting little buffs.
Rom is getting a little bit better.
Yeah.
and-
The quote
It's
weak
cool.
characters are getting
Yeah.
buffed, basically, right? Yeah.
Who
Okay.
was played in top 8 in tournament.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
The tier list
really
is very
good.
condensed in that game, anyway.
That's great. I
sure.
mean, got a game here with great net code, great balance, lots of fun.
Wild characters.
Wild characters.
Yeah, tons of fun. If your archetype's not in this game, I'd be very surprised.
There's no way they invented archetypes for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Even
right?
if you'd be like, I didn't even know I like that. A grappler, zoner, summon character? Alright, let's try this out.
Yeah.
With the triple jump? Sure.
All right, cool.
Gargos is so fun, man.
He's a weird one.
All right.
Yeah, it was a really cool event.